If this particular engagement continues in terms of a promotion, a problem can occur in the long run. And we will be the ones to blame. If, for instance, there's a commune folded, what would happen? They'll come to the regulator. How come you did not foresee this? If there's a official also is having a problem to pay their taxes, and as a result, GRS expectations have all come down, they'll come to us as well and say, how come you did not advise? So you see, this is the difficulty we have in terms of how do we play these three so that they all come together and then it becomes something that we can all benefit from. Consumers, of course, have been paying a high rate, and this is a given. And this is something that, like Brahma said, that we are working with operators to make sure that this goes down. But how do we do that? It's to make sure that their own cost of operations go down in terms of them using. They will also tell you, we are using NAWEC, but NAWEC is not completely available. We have to use generators to augment our BTSs. We're getting complaints that everybody wants data. Currently, I think when we started PURA, when people go to the provinces, voice was a problem. People have to hang their phones on trees. But now, currently, voice is over 134% penetration. We have full coverage of voice in the country. But data is a problem. People don't even mind about voice now. They talk about data. But this is something that we have to work with them so that they make these investments. The BTS that people make comparisons, let's say, to Gambia and Senegal. The BTS that Africell or Comium or QCell buys, let's say, cost $100,000 for Africell. It costs exactly the same $100,000 for Orange in Senegal. But what about the population concentration in Senegal compared to Gambia? You have 4 operators competing for 2.5 million people. In Senegal, it's about 16 million people. Their cost of operation, the cost of their operations are completely different. So you cannot make a direct comparison to say Senegal is cheaper than Gambia. If they are buying the same BTS, their equipments are exactly the same, the OPEX are exactly the same, then it means you can also expect that their return on investments will be the same. So this is something that we also have to look at. So these are all the things, the indications that we have, and we cannot keep telling people this. Every time you do, people seem to think that you're making excuses. But we know how much they are spending and how much they are getting back, and how much they're paying for the taxes, they pay for the levies and the GRTS and everything that they pay. Even the football that we have in the Gambia is paid for by them. So as a regulator, we also have a responsibility to make sure we safeguard them. Even though in all countries, GSMs pretend to be very rich and they have money everywhere. This is how they are seen. They're giving out houses worth 7 million. But really, these are things that are calculated on their part, but it does not necessarily mean they have bottomless accounts that they can actually dip in and make this investment. So our role is to make sure that they are viable, but also they don't take too much advantage of the consumer. The consumer also has the quality of service, and the cost of that service is reasonable to a point where we can compete or compare with other countries. But this is what we are trying to do as a country. And also, it's not going to come without these challenges. It will come with these challenges, but I think we need to meet them head on to actually see how we do that. So this is what we try to do to stop a market failure, like Brahma said. But of course, others will say this was a one tier that we were all enjoying. But we all know one tiers, they start and they end. So if it doesn't end, then it means then we have an issue.
Just a follow up, because we've seen Comium. Now, this begs the question: why is it that the interest of the public, because to most people who are watching from outside, what they see is that Comium has come into the game and they have forced these tariff wars. That's what the people see. And to their own benefit. Me, I'm a customer. I use all 3 of them. Comium, Africell, QCell. I use all 3 of them. But is even the idea of a price floor, is this normal? Is this even normal? Which is shocking, because of price floors protect the businesses, the companies. Price ceilings, like we've seen in this country, there is a price cap for fuel. Everywhere you go, there is a price. But then, you go to jar oil, for example, you get it $1 less. You might have your issues with your quality, but you've gone there. So, instead of a price floor, people should be, this is what I am a journalist. I'm talking to people. People are demanding, instead, they want you to lift this price floor. Give us a price ceiling. This is what we want.
Yes. I think I just want to start with what you said. You said the price floor protects the operators.
Price floor, that's what we see.
But rightly so. Like we said at the beginning.
At our expense.
No, like we said at the beginning, we protect the interests of operators, consumers, and government. That is our role. we protect their interests, not in that we want them to exploit consumers, but we protect their interests to make sure that they are viable, that they don't go down to a point where they kill themselves. What you mentioned, Comium came in with a penetration pricing strategy. This is exactly what QCell is doing in Sierra Leone. He might disagree with it here, but he's doing it in Sierra Leone so that he can get market share. It's normal for any operator or any new business coming in to have a penetration strategy process. But also, as a regulator, if it's a regulated entity, you have a responsibility to make sure that that strategy is something that they do to gather their, to amass their customer base. And once they do, they stop and go normal so that they are viable. Because it's not, you cannot produce something at $10 and sell it at $1 and continue doing that and expect to make a profit or to be viable. You will die. Your cost, what you are buying for is $10. You are selling at $1. At the beginning is fine. You can solder it, you can get loans, you can get assurances. Once I get my customers, I'll recoup this over a period of time. But if it's something that is continuous, they will die. It's obvious. But saying that let them die, it might be something that a customer can say, but as a regulator, we cannot.
I can understand, but that happened. Comium did die, and they did come in. We didn't see, because of what people are seeing, this is at the benefit of the QCell and AfriCell, more so than even Comium. What people we are seeing as customers is, we don't expect PURA to give us a price floor. We don't expect that. What we expect is for PURA to be giving us a price ceiling. What we expect is for PURA to be demanding that charge whatever price you want. We have an open market. But you guys are going against the policies of an open market.
No, but in an open market, you don't need, then there shouldn't be need for a regulator.
You can still have regulators.
And allow it to do whatever they like.
Quality regulation.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that
Now,
if in a situation where you can charge anything you like, PURA has been in existence for almost 20 years now. There has never been a price floor in this country because they were behaving normal. But these abnormal situations called abnormal processes. What happened now has taken all of us by surprise. We never expected that the competition will be this bad that they come to the end that they are almost charging almost zero. This is a potential for problem. And as a regulator, our duty is to ensure that the same consumers who you are trying to protect, if it's not available, who are you protecting in the end? This service must be there to be protected, to be enjoyed. But if the service is non-existent, how do you go about that? We have consumers also. We don't enjoy this. But what we did was an interim measure because where the market is now, none of them was prepared to come out. And Comium is a darling of most of the people now, very young ones, see, because of the thing they are doing. Yes. And when they came, as I said, they revolutionized the telecommunication business in this country. But they are in a very critical phase. They are expanding. And they found themselves in a price war. You could say price war. So if the prices have gone so low that their very existence will be affected. And if these other people come here, they have maybe they have some revenue somewhere streams, they are in other operations, they can but Comium government is alone. And it's on a trajectory that investment they are rolling out to renew, and which is commended, very commendable, because the expansion that they are going is amazing. And we welcome that. But they found themselves in a price war that they cannot get out. Somebody needs to come out and help them out. And
so the Comium can come. Did these GSM companies come to complain to you, or you just intervene?
No.
Because it sounds like you're asking, it's as if they're asking for help.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yes.
For. Yeah, yes, it's about some people are saying that some GSM operators lobby PURA because one competitor's promotion was hurting their business. Did any operator complain directly to you before this decision?
No, we are in a sector. Naturally, operators, they look at each other. They complain against each other. That's a normal threat in competition. They look at each other, they study each other, they have agents in each other's company. They know what the other is doing. But as I said, Comium, we are in the market for almost 2 years now, since they started. And they had this tariff that they come up with. If it was complaint from operators, we would have stopped it long since they started. But we allowed them because we saw them as a very important partner. Because we were having a duopoly. Only AfriCell and QCell were dominating. GAMCell was almost there. So we needed a third player to come and put them on the check. And when they came, so the pressures were there all along. The pressures were there, the complaints were there. But we said they need to survive. It's a penetration price they are doing. But where it becomes a concern, when they started coming also, when these people match them, instead of staying there, they also came down.
It's good.
From 45 up to $5.
Good for us.
So that's good for consumers, but that's not good for a regulator.
I have three last questions.
You are protecting
You should
the
want
consumers.
Not only consumers.
Okay, now.
Protecting government,
Producer.
economic operators, and consumers.
How does-
I mean, in your statement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, the Gambians, they are happy in what these people are doing, like the competition that they are doing, because the majority of the Gambians are poor.
Yes.
So, having $10, buying it for a data, and some, even 25 they don't have it, they only have $10, because yesterday was the last day that somebody complained to me, saying that he went to a shop and buy $10 credit to make data bonds. From there, when he put in it, it was $11, and he tried his best to see how best he can get that data. But somebody called him and told me that no, it has been changed. It's $11 now, not $10. So you see how this thing is harming the poor. Yeah. So you are protecting these GSM operators, but you have to protect the Gambians as well, because the poor people.
We are
Sorry,
protecting
to
Gambians.
make his point strong, to emphasize on it, now, how does this price floor save the interest of consumers? That's the question now.
It's as I said, the current tariff structures we have for the GSM, for the three main players, is about 130 per gigabytes. That's the standard tariff they have. That's the public tariff. Now, Comium is about 40, between 45, 46 thereabout. It's just up to about 50 thereabout.
Yes, 50.
Yeah, thereabout. That's the standard tariff.
Yeah.
Now, the promo, if you look at it, they are calling promotions. And by law, promotion cannot last more than 60 days.
Now, the question is...
Let me learn. Now, but after the promotions, these people are going back to their standard tariffs. And that's about 76% of the Gambians, where they are, will go to 130, 120. But because we cut short the promotions and put a price floor, they'll be forced to move from 130 to 50 or thereabout. Is that not the savings? But without this intervention, we cannot do that until such a time that we can evidently do a study, analyze it, and set the floor. But now this opportunity has presented itself to us. So it's a savings. About 76% of the Gambian data users will be benefit. So I don't see how that can be anti-Gambian consumers. Yes.
Yeah, to me, that is a savings
Yes.
in one way.
Yes.
But also, is it a savings to Comium? Because to me, this is protecting now QCell and AfriCell instead of Comium. Now, let us, for instance, say this. When this thing started, I know that it will work because I am a math student and I foresee things. I know that when competition hits, price will come down. When competition hits, price will come down. And that is what happened. Comium came, brought their price down, and now having now customers. I was using QCell, I was using AfriCell, so I have to now go for Comium because that is the cheapest. I am a media person, and I am using data always, every day, almost every day. So now, when that happens, AfriCell saw that people are not using their line. QCell saw that people are not using their lines. So they have to also bring a strategy, which is a market strategy, to bring their price down. This is a market strategy. So they call it promotion. As a promotion, as you said, it is rightly so that it will end Yes, but if it's end, they will go back to their normal price. But Commune will still sell their data as to what they are selling it. Because Commune is not a promotion. For Commune, it's not a promotion.
What these prices now are promotional prices.
But for Commune, their 1 gigabyte is not a promotion.
No. I think what you don't understand is what we are saying is Commio's pricing is a penetration pricing. You should understand that.
I
That's what you
understand.
are coming to.
Yes.
That promotional penetration is not permanent. As of now, what you are saying, if you are saying it favors QCell and Africa, then it means it favors more than 50% of the Gambian people. They have the greatest customer base.
You know,
Let's-
what I tried to do, because I was following this thing,
Yes.
and I tried to even have your report, your report, because I was following this thing, to check the penetration of both QCell and AfriCell and Commune to know how many customers are they having.
And what was your finding?
Your report was not out.
Which report? If you go to our
The latest one is not out. I just talked to Noor downstairs.
Yes.
It is not yet tabled at Parliament, so I could not access it.
Yes, so it means we cannot. That is not our fault.
It's not for our fault.
It's the National Assembly that gives us time to go and present our thing. Our report is ready, but we cannot share it because we haven't tabled it at the National Assembly. Understandable. But what we are saying is, if we are doing an action, that action also has to mirror the amount of people that are going to benefit. Commune, as far as we're concerned, they are not the biggest, they are not the second biggest. The two biggest, for instance, are charging the higher, right? If you do a floor, that is $50. Like you said, to answer your question, it means there's a direct benefit to more than 50% of the Gambian people. 75% of the Gambian people. That is a direct benefit. But it's not that we are insensitive to what people are saying. We all want cheap. If we can have it for free, we will. At the end of the day, but that's what human beings are. As a consumer, I understand it perfectly when they say no floor, let's go down to zero. If you go to an operator, they say no floor, put a ceiling. We should not be doing that. But these are the competing factors. As a regulator, where do you think we are?
You're in the
We're in between, exactly. So this is why, but we are.
But it doesn't
What
seem
you
like
said manifested that exactly what you said. Remove the floor, go to zero if they have to. We have no problem as consumers. Understandable. Operators will say, remove the ceiling, don't put any ceiling, because we can charge as much as we can get a maximum return for our investment.
Exactly.
That is their point. But government will say, let them do anything that's going to get us the biggest amount of tax that we can collect. We said, okay, fine, we hear all three of you. We go in the middle, balancing the interests of consumers and operators alike, which is difficult. It's a balancing act. We are not always going to get it right. We are not always going to get it wrong either, because it means anytime we do one that favors the other, we get the other jumping on our back, and we understand this. And we understand and insults we are getting and stuff.
So
It comes with the job. We are the
Mr. Taylor, just to add that, you remember, Mr. Taylor,
My second to last question.
remember when you did the tariff review, you are here.
Yes. Yes.
At that point, we justified that. At that point in time, if you are not giving that 3% increment, there wouldn't have been any Naira today. For you give it 3%, and today, happily, Gambians, we are not having 24 hours, but almost, we have, in where I stay actually, I'm having a reliable electricity. Even if it's expensive, I can manage my consumption.
Not at Nemo. Not at Nemo. Our studio, we suffer that. I'll talk about on behalf of Nemo. I'll talk on behalf of Nemo. Our studio is in Nemo.
You're in a good area, yes.
On average,
You're in a good area.
no, but I'm saying, but on average,
Yes, sir.
compared to those days,
In my area is much better.
Even when Kappa was here, it's better now.
When things are better, we have to accept.
yes. So
Yes.
these are the check. But at that time, they cost us dynamics books, they are doing everything. But at that time, that was what is important. And today we can say NAVEC and the trajectory they are going is promising. So this also the data market, consumers, cheap data, short-term gains is not the solution. The solution is a sustainable data plan that has quality considerations and also has value for money. This is what we are looking for. These promotions in the next month, they will not be here anymore. They are going out by law. So in that case, they are going back to their normal tariff. Commune will go back to 45 or 47, thereabout. So it's not different from the floor. But the other people are forced. This is from about 76% of the data users are forced to move from that height, 130, to 50.
That's what you believe.
That is what happened.
Okay.
Okay,
If
now
I-
second to
if-
last
yeah,
question.
I just want to make my last appeal, my
we
last
have to,
thing.
we have GRTS.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, my
I know,
second to
I know.
last question.
If I can, in fact, this is not even a question, a request or an appeal. First of all, there is some information which we desperately need from your statement. Two, I don't know if it's the same, but the one was you did an African. This is quoting.
Yeah, my point.
The African average is $1 per gigabyte, which is equivalent to 71 per gigabyte. You know that, and you talk about that. So this benchmark, can we have this data so that we can see how you've come to that? That's one. And then there is another issue which you have in here, which is also in your statement. You talk about the cost model. The cost model underpinning the price floor, right? So those two, if we get them, it will really, really help us. But me now speaking as a customer, as a Gambian, we are suffering. This thing is not going to finish here. We are suffering. Nawe is killing us. From a few years ago when the price increased, which is under your mandate as PURA, that one was a disaster. Gambians are still crying today. I travel around the world and I know how internet costs in the places that I go. When I come to Gambia, it's crazy. The amount of data that I pay. When I was in the UK, I know there's different countries. I know there's economies of scale and all of that, but it shouldn't be so ridiculously far. The amount that I am paying for data, if I pay that in other countries like in the UK, I get a brand new mobile phone. That's my plan. That's how much I pay, not only for internet, not only for phone calls, not only for text, and the price of the mobile phone, a top of the range mobile phone. Please, we are begging on you people. PURA, we are pleading with you. This is not going to finish here because this we have to take, this we are going to take. It's affecting my work as a journalist. It's really affecting me. I cannot do my job. This price is going to affect me personally, professionally. It's going to affect me. Look in, you guys, please think this again. Have a think about it. I know you guys have done your thorough work. I'm not saying you haven't done it. But we are pleading with you. Not only even on GSM and data, even the Nike. Please, we are pleading with you guys have to do something. Cost of living in this country is killing us. Honestly, I'm pleading. I'm not asking a question. I know you might want to say something, but I'm pleading with you. Please, I really, we are pleading. Help us.
Thank you. Your final please.
Okay. My second to last question will be.
Second to last.
Yeah. Okay, let me join them. Let me join them together. Let me just join them together. Will be the mobile and network coverage are limited in the country. You understand? What has PURA done to ensure that there is complete mobile and network coverage across the country?
It depends on what mobile coverage. It depends on what you refer. When it comes to voice, we have universal coverage.
There's over 134% coverage. Voice. There's no way in Gambia that you can go without not being able to use voice.
Yeah.
Data is the issue.
There's what? I'm from Kantora. We are the far end of the country. You understand? Up to date, if you want to communicate with someone there, the person is the one who can call you, not you.
On voice?
Because the person knows where to stand to get network.
Yeah.
I'm from Kantora, the far end. Yeah, voice. I mean voice.
Yeah, if in my village,
We want to get that.
if in my village,
Kantora. If you go to Kantora, go to around Fatoto ends, so that Songkunda, Kasekunda, Same, those ends villages. If a person, recently, my grandpa passed away. My mom was there. You cannot communicate her. You cannot communicate anyone there. They are the one who will know at a place where they will be able to stand to communicate you. But you cannot.
now it's possible. It's possible.
Okay.
So, but what I'm saying is that in terms of when you come to voice, we have done significantly well. We are way beyond above the African average. We are the top 10 in terms of
But still,
coverage.
for
yes,
your
there may be-
purpose,
there may be
we'll take this up.
small sports here and
Yeah,
there.
share it,
That's
yeah.
not avoidable because it's a wireless technology. You know, the coverage has a limitation also. And maybe when towers are very far, you can have some areas that are not covered. That's possible.
Because operators rely on us when we do our bantabas, the data we get from those, because we go with them to test sites like that.
Yeah.
When we have it, the data we give them, when they're doing their rollouts, they use that as basis to expand to those areas.
That's right.
If you can give me the details, we will share with them. And
Okay,
we
so
will
I,
make
so
sure that
so
Yeah.
I will use
Yeah,
it.
but also the problem we have, I think I have to say this, is Gambians don't complain. So that is why people think we shy away from this. We don't. No, it's a fact.
Yeah.
We don't. As a regulator, what makes us work, and the lifeblood of any regulator is information and complaints and pressure. You put pressure on us, we pass it to where it needs to go. But if you sit there and you go on Facebook and insult us all day, it's not helping. It's fine. It's okay. It's your right to do so. But I mean, insult us, but at least engage us as well. I will ask any one of you here who has ever called our 148 free line, which is a free phone number, for exactly the things you are saying. Nobody calls it. And it's free on all networks. You don't pay anything. Nobody calls it. And if you call it, for people that use it, they get benefits. So if you called us about this, it would have been nice for you to have done that and come and say, Cantor still don't have, even though I called you. But you probably don't even know that you can do that or complain to us. So what we are appealing to everybody, to your listeners and your viewers, is to call us. Please engage us, challenge us, insult us by all means. That's we cannot stop. But challenge us as well, so that you can have evidence to say we went there and they did not do this. We want to see that as well. And it should be always nice so that we can also say and say, definitely this person comes here. But it's always the same, and you will know that we always say this. When you come, we say, have you ever complained? And the answer is always no. But Facebook, people can write there, and it's easy, but that's fine. We are even trying to open Facebook where you can, please inform us on Facebook if that is the easiest for you to complain. But all we get is insults. And that's not going to help, because when you know, if you complain to us, we can deal with your problems, and you decide not to do that but to insult, then that's not going to help anybody. Your complaint helps me. If it goes down, I benefit as well as you do. So it's not like I don't buy my data like you do. I do. But it means you make a complaint, I benefit from your complaint. But I can see certain things. If I do it, they'll say, PURA, the operators will claim that I am the one fanning the flames. Consumers are not complaining. So it's up to you guys to complain. So we are asking everybody, please challenge us. There's a free phone number, 148. Call it. Is it network coverage, quality of service, anything? Even if it's tariffs, let us know. These are things that we will make in informing our decisions. We rely on these things to make our regulations, our law, even change some of the regulations, our guidelines, so that we reflect this. But if we don't know, and just say, you should know. No, that's not the thing. As a regulator, we need these things formalized so that we can use formal information to say, when they say, who told you, we can say, here. So we need this, and you need to make these complaints as much as possible so that as a regulator, we can engage us, challenge us, and this excites us that you do that. As difficult as you think it may be, challenge us, sit back and see what happens. If we don't do anything, then of course, when you come back next time, it's easier for you to say, this is what we told you and you did not do it. But 9 out of 10 times, it's always, none. No, have you ever complained? No. Have you ever engaged us? No. Some of you, this might be your first time here, because a problem happened. But before that, you can engage us. If you see a problem coming, you can even come and engage us, and we can see how we work together to actually fix that. And this is something that also is our mandate and our role, to listen to consumers and take their things on board, so that it's not like PURA is the one that is pushing. Because like I said, we are in between 3 very powerful forces. You, the consumers, government, and operators. So we are sitting there. The only way we move is when one of you moves us. If you as consumers come and complain and say, this is this is that, you keep saying, and then we have to go to operators, this is what we are hearing. And government, of course, we have to. But if government keeps coming and saying, tariffs are this, you cannot allow these people to die. They die 20% of the GDP of this Gambia that is contributed by these people. How can you afford for those people to die? You can't. That's also a legitimate concern from government. To say, this is what pays for the roads and everything else. As a regulator, you are against by law. So this is the difficulty we have. Not that we are insensitive to this, not that we are not affected, not that we think it's easier for operators to do, but what we think is these operators need to be viable. They need to be in business to make these businesses work. They need to give us internet that is fast, quick. Even as businesses that you are saying here as journalists, what you need is reliable and fast. Actually, first.
Thank you.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It means you pay for that. That is what you need, so that you can do whatever you want to do with this. Now we are getting to a point where we want even consumers not to be using voice. You can use data data is the new voice. So you buy the one thing and you use it for everything else. But it means you can only use voice when it's stable and qualitative. That is also our role. But how does that happen? It means more BTS. Each BTS costs $100,000. We have to engage them to say, continually do that, get more BTS, get people to get their quality. You can complain about that. That pushes them to invest. So I mean, any money that they're having, they're investing back for your own good. Once we get to a point, price is always going to come. And then we can always walk towards how do we make sure that some of the markets you're talking, they're mature markets. UK is mature. There's nowhere in UK that you cannot go and have access. An operator coming into UK is just coming, setting your machines, and you are connected everywhere. That's not the case for them. They are not only telecom operators, they're also electricity providers to themselves. And these are all costs that they always try to pass on to the consumer. And we always have to say, no, you cannot. So these are some of the things that they have to absorb. But this is a discussion that only PURA cannot do. We all have to do together. But if these things happen, we should not be only seeing journalists at our doors when these things happen. We want you to engage us before. So that at least, representatively, people can have a better understanding. Because they say, we are not explaining so well. Maybe that is true. But our access to media also maybe is limited. But this is a relationship we have to build together so that you can engage us outside of problems. If problems occur, we are all emotional, you want something. But, it affects us as much as it affects you. But if you engage us and we push, we have a figure to say, the media is pushing us that we have to do this. Something will happen. But I think we have to think around these things like that. But reacting to situations this way, it means we can do that. It's fine. Everybody's angry because I was having something for free, now I have to pay for it. Nobody likes that. But we also have to see how we can do it responsibly. You engaging us for us to do that so that everybody gets exactly what they want, but in a way that nobody dies in the process, that nobody loses out. Government makes their projections for their taxations, they expect a particular amount. Let's not affect that. Government operators are doing this and they are rolling out to go to countries, places like Kantora. Even if it's a village of 5 people, we insist they go. Because at the end of the day, most countries, what they're doing, they have a universal access funds, where they take 1% of all operators' earnings annually and put it in a kitty. And this kitty they use to do rollouts. But if you do that, it's a form of taxation on them. They'll pass it to the consumers. So we decided we are not going to do that. What we do is, you tell us, Kantora is not there, we engage them and say, go to Kantora. They invest 100,000 and go to Kantora, even though they know there's only 5 people that are going to benefit. It doesn't matter to us. All we want is for you to be in Kantora, so that there's universal. If you don't do it, the threat is we are going to have the universal access fund on you. So that is the approach we were using, and we call it play or pay. You either play, go and roll out by yourself voluntarily, and don't remain yourself within just the greater Banjul area, which we know is lucrative, but you also need to go to the provinces. But again, there are costs to all this, so we have to balance. They can all come and make their businesses here and not go out there and make money. But our responsibility is, it doesn't matter how remote the village is or how difficult to reach it is, you have to be there. It's their right to also be communicated. But in doing so, we also know that in making investment in place, they will never have returns on. But these are the balances we have to do, as difficult as that may be. So that is why I said, who bought Buki Ebola, or who bought Buki Haji Ebola? But we expect it as well, because we are never going to satisfy all 3. At some point, one will be unhappy, and another somebody will be happy. But if that happens, you guys are the gel between, as far as I'm concerned. You are the ones that can bring that together, to bring that understanding, to say, as much as we want cheap, we also have to take consideration of ABCD. And as long as operators also want money, they have to consider the population is suffering, like I said. So, government, as long as, even though you want taxes, but we have to be mindful, ICT is not the only sector you can keep taxing. So, you balancing that, it means we can all benefit. Yeah? Thank you. That's the last one, and we are going to GRTS.
I wanted to say something because I came late. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I was cooking. I'm the CEO and founder of the Cell Media. I launched it last March, and I bought a router from QCell $3,000. I refill it for $1,900. But since I refill it, I cannot have internet. The router will be on, but it cannot give me internet. There was a day I was about to upload a video of less than 30 minutes on my Facebook page. I found it so difficult to upload to the extent I had to tag them. I called their customer care, and one lady told me that they are working on it because the internet is cheap, so many people will be online, and that's why it will be congested or whatever. After all that,
maybe you should be
I saw your
sitting here and maybe asking you the question.
Yes, and I saw your statement, right? Because if it is congested, usually the network is not stable. Now that it is not, let me hope, it is not congested as it used to be because of the pricing. I'm still facing the same problem. So when is this going to end? Secondly, about what you were saying about Kantora, I live in Sierra South, The village name is Kaolong. It is just 2 kilometers away from the
It's what?
border.
How long?
Kaolong, yes, Sierra South, Lower Fuladu West. My village is not far from the border, but most of the people that live in my village, they use Orange than
Yes.
Africell, QCell, or Comeo, and they are paying tax to the Gambia. They are not paying tax in Senegal. But they find it so difficult to get network. Whenever I go there, I switch off my phone and place it one place. When I am going out, when I get out of the village and I'm on the highway, that's when I use my phone. Usually, even if there's an emergency in my village, before they get to me, if they don't have WhatsApp, they have to wait every Saturday when they go to the Lumo in Birkamama. That's when they can get across to me. And I'm finding it so frustrating. And I think...
No, thank you. Just to say, I can assure you one thing. Call 148. Your router issue with QCell will be sorted. Number one. I can tell you, people that use 148 would know, even if you make mention of it to either Gamcell, Nawek, Africell, the problem gets sorted before you get to us. So call 148, test our systems, number one.
Okay.
Number two, the names that you have given to us, we will collect these things and we'll pass. If you have network issues, call 148, tell them this area I'm not having networks as well. We will use that and also engage them. That's what we do.
Also, the app,
Yes.
the app we are going to launch will be able to tell you which network is strong in your area.
I'll show
I
you
live
this.
in Serakunda. I expect you to be fine.
Yeah,
Yes.
most likely,
Yes.
yeah, it's congestion. It's a congestion.
Although one thing I want to put up, there's a Africell antenna on top of my building. So I don't know if that is the...
No, I don't think.
No.
Okay,
they should not.
that's a point. That's a point where
This is the app. We haven't launched it yet.
Yeah.
It's the app that we are launching this Saturday. So it will be on Play Store. Anybody can download it. What it is, I think, when you say coverage, when you touch on coverage, it will show you all these places. Let's say Basse. It will show you a map. And then it has a traffic light system of red, green, and blue. So obviously, if your availability is bad, it will be red. If it's fine, it's green. So this, we hope, will help consumers in terms of making decisions with regard. So we are launching this on Saturday as part of the quality of experience of individual consumers. So you can do that, and it will also have a tariff portion where you can actually tap on tariffs for all of them. And if you go data plans, you can give it for all operators. You tap on a particular operator, it will tell you their data plans. So this is something we are launching on Saturday. So this is a preview for you guys.
Okay.
We're meant to have this preview, but then this thing happened. You're meant to have a preview this Friday, but then this thing happened and we have to react to this and actually solve this.
Okay.
But we will be doing this, and hopefully if any of you want, you can individually come here, engage us on some of the things that we have and some of the plans that we have. Our doors are always, as you know, we never made an appointment. You just walk in and
Yeah.
just sit
Yeah.
here with you. So, thank you guys. Yeah?
So just 1 minute about our antenna issue. If you go to QCell, QCity, on a coverage, and you are using Africell data, you don't have connection.
We want
It's a fact.
call 148.
No, maybe it could be technical.
No, call
No,
148.
no. What I'm telling you is that you go out of there, your network will come. You'll be able to stream live.
Call 148.
But if you are inside QCity, we attend entertainment events as well. If you go there for live streaming, or you are forced to switch to QCell.
Call 148.
No problem. Thank you.
Call them and they will test it, and if they can verify it, they will try to find out. We can ask our engineers to look at it. So,
Okay.
so this is it. Yeah?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Once again, we are really pleased and appreciate
We
it.
rely on you to help us.
All right. Thank you.
Yes.